Today I'm going to be showing you the install of an ARB air locker in my 2010 Dodge 3500. As you can see, I've installed the bearings. I bought new bearings, races, and ring gear bolts for the install, just in case. I have that and to replace the bearings so I don't have to worry about pulling the old ones off and damaging them, so I just bought new ones. Alright, for this install, I've already taken the rear cover off and drained the rear oil. I also took the tires off so I can take and pull the axle shafts out. Take and mark the caps. See how, okay, there we go. I can see it there. And P. I put a D and a P on each cap to signify driver's or passenger side cap. AEM also puts a little arrow. So, but it looks like you could mix them up if you want, if you didn't. But I took and put a D and a P. So, and the next thing I already set up for it, taking and measuring the backlash, the original. So you see it's 0. And 6 thousandths. Yeah, I get up to about 65. So 65 thousandths, which is in spec. So, tested and got the original backlash so that I can set it up to close to the same. I've already taken, and as you can see right here, also taken and drilled and tapped the case for the airline that goes through. So the next step will be removing these. Okay, and the next step is I'll be taking and I undid the bolts already on for the axle shaft. Now I just take a hammer, tap it, and it dislodges it. That easy. And then let the oil drain into a bucket. Alright, as you see, I got it out of there. These actually take and rotate in and out, and I had to actually do this one, whereas on the front, when I did it, all I had to do was take and loosen them up just a little bit, and I did about, probably 6 of these holes, turning on each side. This one I actually had to take and turn it, this side 2 turns, and this side 1 turn on these. So it just rotates it so you can adjust it. Makes it really nice for setting up. And here you can see that it out on the bench. And these are standard threads. The front was reverse threads. These are just standard threads. So you gotta watch out there for that and make sure for like the front end, it's a little more difficult because when you're reverse threads, you always it's a little different. Well, I got the ring gear and the ABS toner ring on and attached to the ARB. All I had to do in order to take off the ring gear from the original was take a hammer and tap on it just a little bit, and it loosened up and dropped off the original limited slip. Alright guys, I got it all set up. So I'm just going to talk you through it on how to adjust the ring gear side adjuster, this side, in until you have 0 backlash. Then you take and make sure the adjuster on the pinion side is touching the bearing caps, and you rotate the ring gear around. Then you back off the ring gear side adjuster 4 holes, and if you can see when I'm talking about holes, see the holes there that are right there in the adjuster. So you back it off. See how the this is the lock right here and here. It's in 2 holes. So you back it off 4 holes to get initial backlash. So after you back it off 4 holes, you take and back off the pinion side, which is this side, until it's no longer touching the bearing cup, and then take and spin the pinion around, or ring gear around, and then you take and tighten up the pinion side adjuster until it just makes contact. After you get the pinion side adjuster, which is this side, just making contact, you take it and tighten it up. 6 adjuster holes for new bearings and 4 adjuster holes for original bearings. Since I have new bearings in this, I did 6 holes, and then you take and check backlash. And according to the directions, the backlash should be between 3 to 10 thousandths, with a preferred backlash of 5 to 7 thousandths. And if it's not within those specs, you take and adjust it for. Of course, I'd do it just 1 hole at a time. That's what I did, because when I originally did it, it didn't come out perfect. It was slightly too tight. So I took and backed off this 1 hole and then increased this side 1 hole, which then I got the perfect backlash of 6.5 thousandths. So, and that's what I have now. Then I took and the last thing I did was, once I got the backlash all set up, and then I also torqued the bearing caps down, and adding the, as you can see, you see this little plate right here that goes on, that hooks up on the bearing caps. That's for zip tying. See, I zip tied the copper airline, which goes through the house. It hooks into the port for going through the housing. And here is a look at what the torque specs are, just in case you want to know. And this is for the rear end. The front end would be different torques, even though the setup is basically the same for the front and rear of these trucks, with the specs being, at least for preload and backlash, being almost the same. So, air to it, which I've hooked up the air, and then put the cover on. So the last thing I need to do is fill it up full of fluid. Follow me on Facebook and YouTube, and watch some of my other videos to what I've done to my Dodge truck and other off-road items I've installed. Thanks. Bye.